He has written lyrics for almost the past 30 years for artists including Elton John, Wet, 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 Lisa Stansfield, and many others, including a partnership with Glenn Tilbrook for the band Squeeze, guitarist, vocalist, and lyricist Mr. Chris Difford. Chris, how is life treating you these days?
Life is treating me just perfect, actually. Really, really good.
I love it. So, Chris, tell me a little bit about your upbringing and who influenced you the most on your decision to make music part of your life?
I think really it was The Who. Reading interviews with Pete Townsend was a big changing point in my life. I was a kid at school, 16 years old, and I just wanted to be in a band. I wanted to be in a gang of boys making music, and I've made that decision, and here I am, 40 years later, still doing the same thing. So I made the right choice.
And where did you grow up, Chris?
I grew up in the south bank of the River Thames in London.
And I know you did a lot of great collaboration with songwriting with Glenn Tilbrook in the band Squeeze. How did you meet Glenn originally?
Yeah. Well, Glenn and I grew up in sort of separate parts of the same town, if you like. So we always knew that we were sort of near each other, and we were writing songs, and we just came together, and very, very quickly, it seemed to me, we got on like a house on fire, and 30 or 38 years later, we're still writing songs, we're working on a new album. We toured last year, and we still got the bit between our teeth, so it's all good news for us.
That's wonderful. That's so great that you guys can still do what you love to do, because there's so many musicians out there that can't do that. That's such a great thing for you guys.
It is a great thing to be doing something that you love.
And then how did you guys meet up with the other musicians in the band Squeeze in 1975, and how did you guys come up with the band name Squeeze?
Boringly, the name came out of a hat, so not a very big story there.
Really?
And the musicians were, different members have been in and out of Squeeze all through our career. And it's normally become, word of mouth or just somebody that we know. So, we've got the best band ever, really, because we've had so many different keyboard players and drummers, and I've been spoiled with great musicians.
And I know you guys were big there in London, England, during the mid to late 70s and into the early 80s. And over here in America, you guys stormed onto the charts when you guys released the co-produced Elvis Costello album titled East Side Story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the tune Tempted became your band's biggest American hit to climb the charts. And how was Tempted created? And something about you writing it in a taxi cab ride?
Yeah, the lyric was written in a taxi and just on the way from my house to the airport. And, lo and behold, it became a song, and Paul Carrick sang it. And, it's been marvelous for us. I mean, every time I come to America and I turn on the TV or the radio, that song's playing. So, it's been a legacy for us, and we love playing it live. It's a fantastic song. It's so difficult to write songs like that. They just don't fall out of trees.
And then there was a U.S. single release that was never released here on an American album. It was a great song called Annie, Get Your Gun. How was that song originated?
Annie, Get Your Gun was a song that was created on a computer. It was the first time we'd kind of used the computer, and the producer, a guy called Alan Tarney, his name was, he used to work with people like Cliff Richard, and he kind of put the song together. We gave him the demo, and he crafted the song around the demo, and we went in one day, and there it was, finished.
And during the year of 1987, the band released another great album here in America titled Babylon and On. Another big American hit for you guys came from that album, a tune called Hourglass. Was that the very first time that you and Glenn wrote and collaborated in the same room together? Because I've heard stories that you guys usually collaborate separately with just yourselves, and then you come together, with ideas. Was that the very first time you guys did that?
Yeah, that was the first time we ever did that, and we haven't done it since. It's one of those songs that I'm not quite sure about, but I quite enjoy playing it live. It's a great live track. But I never really understood the song, to be absolutely honest with you. But the video is brilliant. So, and again, it's a crowd pleaser. Everybody really enjoys it.
Yeah, and I remember the video on MTV. It was a great video.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then there was a tune that was inspired by Glenn Tilbrook's Phone Number, which became your band's second biggest American hit. What's the background on the tune 853-5937?
It's a song both Glenn and I absolutely hate, so it's not really one we talk about very
Okay.
often. So I don't think I've listened to it since it came out.
Okay.
It's just one of those things that came together. I mean, I think it's got a great, it's kind of Hall & Oates in a way. And I used to love Hall & Oates, but I do not like that song.
Okay. Maybe we won't play it there, Chris.
No, you can. I think you should play it.
You think I should play it? Okay. All right. Well, then we'll play it.
Absolutely play it.
All right. Because, I mean, the whole idea of doing this show is to play the songs that, nobody else plays anymore. I mean, play the hits, but, play the tracks that, nobody plays.
Yeah.
And then the very last American hit single of the 80s for you guys was a great tune called If It's Love from the album Frank. How was that song proposed? How did that song come together for you guys?
It had very different lyrics to it originally, and they were pretty dark, so Glenn asked me to change them. I spiced them up, made them lovely. And again, that song's great fun to play live, and the video for it is absolutely good fun too. So I think throughout the 80s we had a really good time with our videos. We spent a lot of money making videos. Everybody did. And the 80s was a fantastic time for Squeeze. It was a real journey.
And so, Chris, what are you working on personally as far as solo projects or with Glenn? What are you working on these days?
Well, I'm working on my own solo projects, which you can find at chrisdiford.com, but also we're now working on a new Squeeze album. So, there's a lot for us to get our teeth into, and I'm very fortunate to be able to pick up the pen and still write songs. It couldn't be a better time in my life, really.
Wonderful, Chris. So give me that website again for people to get information on you and Squeeze and Glenn.
Come to chrisdiford.com and send me an email and stay in touch.
All right, Chris, thank you so much.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you.